Jonathan David at, for Lille, unfortunate for those guys.
But he keeps scoring, doesn't he?
He does. But Forrest, you made a good point yesterday on the dark web, because I watched a little bit. I watched the end of that match, and they were unable to score that goal. David, in fact, got a great effort at the end that unfortunately went right into the goalkeeper's hands. And you said that was probably his opportunity. That was probably Lille's opportunity. And you made a great point saying that given the fact that he's leaving in the summer, in all likelihood, depending where he lands, this might be his last Champions League football for a while.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah. A lot of big clubs don't get the opportunities to play in Champions League, and I would guess that he's going to end up somewhere where they're going to be threatening and challenging for Champions League, but you just never know. What a legend, though. He's been at that club. He's going to be forever a club legend. He's third highest goal scorer, I believe, of all time. And the other guys were back in the 50s and before that ahead of him. So what a club record signing, too, I think, for the amount of money. And what an investment he has been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
League One.
Great value.
League One English posted this yesterday on X or Twitter. It was Jonathan David this UCL season: a goal versus Real Madrid, a brace versus Atletico, a goal versus Juventus, Liverpool, Feyenoord, and Dortmund. So pretty unbelievable by Jonathan David. Yeah.
He's setting himself up well, though, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
If this is we always talk about the bet on yourself mantra for a lot of these athletes. He's one who's bet on himself, and it's really nice to see. Knock on wood. Good
and
Canadian.
Hercules Gomez, another friend of the show, posted yesterday and saying, listen, I've been saying this for a really long time, but he is the best number 9 in CONCACAF, and perhaps even the best player in CONCACAF. And that's a good debate, because there's some other great performers. Christian Pulisic is having a great season. Weston McKennie, he's still with Juve, correct? Playing very well. So there's competition. I think there's depth in terms of the talent in CONCACAF, and in terms of an out-and-out number 9, I think that he's leaving everybody in his dust right now.
Yeah, Hercules is a big fan of David.
Mm-hmm. What's your opinion on that, Jimmy? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. He is the best number 9 in CONCACAF, and I don't think there's anybody close in CONCACAF as a number 9 that can compete with him. No chance. He is the best. He's so good. I'm interested to see where he's going to end up. Obviously, keeping his cards very close to his chest. Still all that speculation where is it Barcelona? It could be maybe Real Madrid. Could it be Bayern Munich?
Mm-hmm. Can you imagine being his agent, Jimmy?
Oh,
that would be fun.
He's partying in Marbella right now somewhere.
Yeah, looking at boats.
Yeah,
exactly.
What yacht do I want?
Based on the way the domestic seasons are kind of shaping up, and kind of you can see the finish line in sight, with the early suitors and maybe others that have emerged, where do you think his best landing spot is right now? Because some things have changed a little bit. His form has remained electric. But the suitors, say around January or end of the fall before the holidays, maybe things aren't as rosy as they once were, or maybe teams are doing a little bit better, or maybe there's a clear need for a player like Jonathan David.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of everybody could use a Jonathan David, of course, but who's in dire straits and at that time at the end of the season that will be looking for somebody like that? It's going to be expensive, so there's only so many clubs can afford him.
Yeah.
Is there a better place for him to land as far as leagues, though? I think of the Prem as it's the top ranked. I was just going through the list of the rankings for leagues. So English Premier League, Italian Serie A, Bundesliga, Spanish La Liga, and French League One.
Mm-hmm.
But is there a level of pressure that happens in Premier League that if you're not, we see it with managers all the time, that they're brought in and within half a season they're tossed. Is there the same amount of pressure for a striker, number 9 like that, who might not get off to a great start because he's still working himself into the team and the club and the strategy of the manager. And it can actually break you, or not break you, but put you in a position where you're being judged unfairly.
Ask Nunes.
Dubs,
No, it's a
Dubs
good-
wants
it's a
to
good-
date him, but she also doesn't want him on Liverpool anymore.
Yeah.
No, he's in that ponytailed get along gang along with Griezmann and Gallagher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but does get along mean, hey, I want to go party with them, or have a first date with them? What does it mean?
Yeah, maybe just party with them.
No, okay. But Craig,
Yeah.
are you going to say something about that? Like, does it sometimes put a lot of, maybe not a lot, but too much?
Well, it can make a difference. I mean, the Premier League's a tough league to score in. I mean, Jimmy mentioned Darwin Núñez. I mean, when he's at Benfica, he scored 32 goals in 57 appearances.
Jeez.
Moved to Liverpool, he's got 25 goals in 88 appearances. Yeah, he's had the chances, but everything is just a little bit better, and you have to be careful. We see this happen a lot when they bring over players from the Dutch league who fill the net. You see that happen in Portugal.
Yeah.
See it happen in France.
Yeah.
Guys that come across to the French league. So it's the Premier League is a difficult league to score and play in.
Yeah.
You saw that goal that Núñez scored, that great run that took Diaz to the byline. Then he cuts it back, and Núñez is the perfect movement that's required from a striker, where he's just patient, and then he just gets a half step on the defender moving towards the first post and finishes it. Like there's no doubt about it. It's so decisive, right? But it's just it's too far in between, too few and far between, where it's inconsistent. He doesn't consistently deliver on those types of finishes and chances like that. So I think that they're probably going to be looking to offload him. So I know that David was a name that was thrown around as a potential replacement for Núñez, but I mean, he's also been linked with Milan. He's been linked with Inter, Napoli, Arsenal, United, even Spurs, Villa. Like, I mean, so many teams have been thrown around.
Spurs, I was going to say, that'd be great, him on the Spurs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll never
would
play
it-
in the
would it be
Champions
good?
League.
No,
Mhm.
No, we don't want him to go to Spurs,
wouldn't
right?
even
Sorry,
entertain
JC.
it. You wouldn't even entertain that. I could see him going to Barcelona. He's a fan. I think he'd be a perfect fit with that squad. Young team. They're lively. Lewandowski's 36, going to be 37 years old next season. I could see Jonathan David going to Barcelona. If I'm betting, that's where my money's going.
What do you think he's worth?
On a free? Oof. Awful lot of money.
Holy shit.
Awful
Put
lot.
a number on it.
Yearly salary then on a free.
$350 a week.
My math isn't good. What does that mean for a year?
A lot of money.
Yeah. I think he's in a position to make a pretty big payday, which is good. It needs to go somewhere that he's going to play all the time, right? And I think Barcelona, I like that shout a lot, but I don't think Lewandowski's done by any stretch. So, I mean, it's a lot of games, a lot of fixtures. So there's probably room for them to share those minutes.
Yeah, there is, because I think when you look at it as well, Lewandowski, I mean, over the last number of games, he normally comes off around the 70th minute mark, which means that now he's getting a little bit older, and trying to finish off a 90-minute match starts to become a little bit harder, doesn't he? But he could still play a role for sure.
But you're right about him playing. He wants to go somewhere he's going to play regularly. And I wonder if that's in the back of his mind as well with the World Cup, and doesn't want to be sitting on the bench or anything like that. I don't expect he would be, but.
And nor does Jesse Marsh.
No. Yeah.
I think if he went to a Barcelona, then he would be starting. I think he'd be banging bags.
Banging bags. Sure.
Banging bags of goals.
You're lonely. That's what you might do.
Yeah. Just with like Jamal, Rapinho.
Wilson.
Just with the players around them, Pedri, De Jong. I mean, it's just, that team is so energetic. And if you had a David up top, the amount of goals we would get. And then you'd see the Lewandowski's role reverse as well then, where he wouldn't start, but maybe he would come on for the last, 15, 20 minutes in a match.
I thought you meant that you want to see him Benjamin Button, so he just starts to age in reverse.
Lewandowski?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gets more youthful. Gets lots of skincare sponsors.
Yeah. Skin is very smooth.
That's right.
It's really tiny. To hold him again.
And his head stays the same size. That would look weird.